On average, people are presented properties within the first week to week and a half. On average, we usually get between 2 to 4 new properties coming available every single week. If you wanted to stick with the price range hypothetically for the first one in between 250 to 350, we'll only present you properties in that price range and what's going to suit you best. We always negotiate the property first, same time essentially negotiating multiple properties at once. 80 to 90% are usually off-market sales, so usually they're not on real estate or domain. They're usually time-sensitive issues, such as the seller needing to sell because of a stress sale, bank repo, financial sale, divorce sale, whatever it is, good reason or bad. Basically, selling it off market because they've got a time constraint and it's hard to sell that property. When we're doing the analysis on that property prior to showing anyone, if we see that there's 5-6 other sales out there that are normally selling between 370 to 370 to 400, and if we can get this down to, let's say, 310 or 315, and that way we can show you there's a good variance in terms of the price point of what other ones are selling for and on the market for, and you can see there's 50, 60,000 or more. Pretty much when properties come available, basically sometimes it's the luck of the draw, 1 or 2, sometimes even 3 or 4 could come available at the same time. I'll put a very detailed email together about the property itself, the location, the growth, the vacancy rates, capital growth rates, and everything in terms of like the cash flow sheet. So you'll be able to see exactly how it will sit from an income and expense, like literally broken down monthly, weekly, annually. Very important, the comparable sales and on-market comparable. Then we can basically jump on the phone and in front of the computer, and that way we can literally open up those emails on the computer and go through them together. And I can guide you through each one and give you more of a verbal rundown about the property, tell you how we've got it negotiated, the story behind it, how it could potentially be a really good fit to the portfolio. If there's one out of the 3 or 4 that we go through that I believe has more potential for whatever reason, maybe it's more so below market value or better cash flow, then I'll explain that and say, look, out of these 3 or 4, they're all really good, as you can see. I would personally go with this one if it was me because of these particular reasons. There's no pressure, you never have to decide then and there. You can come back to me the next day if you're interested, great. If not, there'll be other ones that we're working on as well. Many of the properties usually, as I mentioned, like 80-90% are generally off-market sales. 90% or more already have tenants in there. So it's just about coordinating with the tenants to get you physically inside. With all the information in the email, we usually have like the most recent routine inspections as well. So if the routine inspection, as an example, of the current tenants live there, happened in the last few weeks, you'll be able to get that report prior as well. What the place looks like internally, like just as it is. Have all the property managers' details about how the tenants are keeping the property maintained. Many different photos inside, outside. Many times we get video walkthroughs as well. But usually within that 21-day period where you go to try to buy property, we can line up a time, usually as long as 2 or 3 days notice, to give the tenants adequate notice so we can get you literally in there to have a look. Each property is, it's just a stepping stone at the end of the day to get to the next one. When we go through it over the phone, I'll be able to personally explain about, the property itself and show you those sales and what I'm seeing in terms of like ones on the market. So if we've got a property for 300, I'll say, all right, well, let's jump on realestate.com and you can see all the other ones are actually, 360, 350. And we've got this for 300 because it's a financial distress sale or there's, whatever the reasons behind it are.